Hello and welcome to Levant TV Headlines. Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Muallem in his first meeting with a top envoy from Damascus since Syria plunged into civil war more than 3 years ago. Iraqi security forces and allied tribesmen have battled the Islamic State jihadist group near the governor's office in Anbar province, capital Ramadi, after soldiers and police fell back. France has urged Egypt to continue its path towards democracy as visiting President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi sought to restore his country's reputation with his first European tour after a deadly crackdown on opponents. The top UN official for humanitarian aid, Valerie Amos, who oversaw international relief efforts in Syria and other trouble spots, has announced she will be stepping down. And a suicide bomber has rammed his explosives-packed car into a British embassy vehicle in Kabul, killing 1 British citizen and at least 5 Afghans. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. The Egypt Independent leads reporting that the Interior Ministry has made its latest warning against violation of protest laws, 1 day before massive protests scheduled for Friday by the Islamic opposition loyal to former President Mohamed Morsi, saying it will prosecute those who participate in military court. The paper also reports that United Arab Emirates-based Dana Gas has said it was in talks with the Egyptian government to secure a higher price for some of the natural gas it extracts as the North African country moves to encourage investment in energy. UAE's Khaleej Times leads reporting that Dubai's ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said new media is young, changing at a rapid pace and must be nurtured for leadership, adding that more Emirati talent is needed in the local media. The paper also reports that Siberian air passengers had to get out and push their plane in temperatures of -52 degrees Celsius after its chassis froze. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads reporting that sources following up negotiations to free the 26 hostages being held on the northeastern border advised Lebanese authorities to follow in Hezbollah's footsteps after the group successfully secured the release of one of its fighters in a swap deal. The paper also reports that at least 3 wounded people have been infected near Damascus with a tropical disease spread by flies that had never been reported before in Syria. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the UK papers. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news reporting that 2 extremist brothers who took photographs and videos of their trip to Syria to attend a terrorist training camp have been jailed. 24-year-old Hamza Nawaz, 30-year-old Mohammed Nawaz had admitted going to the camp in August last year and were caught by police at Calais as they tried to return home just weeks later. The Guardian leads its Middle East news reporting that US operation forces took part in a rescue mission that freed 8 hostages in a remote corner of Yemen, but a Yemeni official says it did not liberate 5 others, including an American journalist and a Briton who were moved elsewhere by their al-Qaeda captors days before the raid. The Independent leads its Middle East news reporting that Britain's response to the Syria refugee crisis has been woefully inadequate, according to a coalition of aid groups and charities who are urging the UK to resettle 10,000 refugees. In an open letter to David Cameron published by The Independent, more than 30 organisations attack the government for accepting around 100 Syrians, despite committing to welcome many more. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in international papers. China's Global Times leads its Middle East news reporting that South African President Jacob Zuma says visiting Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas has reiterated the commitment to a 2-state solution for peace with Israel, adding that Israel defied the world by undermining prospects for a 2-state solution through its settlements policy. And finally, Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that an Egyptian court has jailed 78 teenage boys, all under 18, for between 2 and 5 years over protesting in support of ousted President Mohamed Morsi. Their jailing is part of a long-running crackdown by the country's military-led authorities, targeting Morsi supporters who are calling for his reinstatement as president. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.